attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this.
Oh my God.
Touch a, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Men are exiting the dating scene by the thousands. Why? Because they're tired of angry women who are trying to make them pay for mistakes they didn't make. Men are saying they prefer their peace over a peace.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Alpha Central titled Women Learn the Hard Way That Men Have Quit the Dating Circus. So a lot of guys have chosen to walk away from dating. They've chose to walk away from marriage. And of course, the people who are most affected by this are the women who, mind you, have been complaining this whole time about how evil men are and about how we shouldn't approach them. Should be hilarious. Let's jump into it. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Locke the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
So I think the better question to what is your body count and does it matter is, have you ever gotten an STD? No. 100% perfect test record there. Do I know the number? No. Can I give you a range? Yes. Probably like 500 to 1,000. Maybe leaning more towards 1,000. Red flag number 67.
The fact that she hooked up with close to 1,000 men and never got a disease is not a flex. If anything, it's even more disgusting because she's somehow proud of that. But it's not impressive. It's incredibly disgusting.
I'm heading to the Sounds game because they're doing a wristband night where at the Bandbox, which I hear has new drinks, I'm excited to check them out. You pick out your wristband if you're single or taken or here for vibes or whatever, and no less than at least 10 people sent this to me. So I'm gonna go check it out. I'm really excited. It looks like maybe the sun's even trying to come out. Should be a good night at the ballpark.
It's safe to assume that the 10 people who recommended this bonkers event were all women. They're the only ones who are convinced that dating events actually work, even though men tell them otherwise.
This does not bode well. We're here, as is part of the course with this experiment. There are no more wristbands. The game only started 5 minutes ago. Well, in terms of meeting someone, not a successful event. But you know what? I was there with friends. I ran into some more friends. It's so dark. I met some new friends. Thank you to a couple of you who came and said hi. It was great to meet you.
It's almost like clockwork how she tries to cope with the fact that men wouldn't talk to her all night. She tries to make it sound like it wasn't that bad, but we can all tell that she is deeply annoyed about this.
So all in all, a really fun night. It was a beautiful night at the ball field. I always love coming to Sounds games, so it was fun. Oh, I got some Sound swag too, so that's fun. Just no luck on the dating front. Oh well.
She didn't meet a guy, but she did get the opportunity to purchase overpriced drinks and a t-shirt while engaging in chit-chat with other couples before going home alone yet again. She's probably used to that by now.
Since I have some awesome guys on TikTok right now listening, I'm thinking, may I have your opinion, please? What is it with men these days and not wanting to date? Do you guys have a fear of commitment? Is it the woman these days? Does it have anything to do with spending money on women? Does it have anything to do with trust issues? Maybe dating apps? Maybe you feel like there are endless options in terms of significant others?
What this woman refuses to understand is how men have made it crystal clear why they don't want to date anymore, but she just wants to be told what she wants to hear. She has no interest in knowing what men think.
I think from our perspective, there's been a massive decline in men approaching women. On a night out, like guys, their focus isn't on women until the end of the night when they're trying to find a woman to take home.
Gotcha. Right, yeah.
Like they're not really interested in,
Right.
even just like a little
Beyond
bit of
the vibes.
rapport. To see if you vibe, if you've got the same personality, if you've got the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Even if you're looking at guys, they won't come up. They don't want to get rejected, or they just care more about going to do lines in the bathroom. Like it's a multitude of things.
Men have too much to lose when approaching a woman at a bar. Even if she doesn't humiliate him with rejection, she's still going to expect him to buy her a top shelf drink for the privilege.
I'm here in Bunnings to try to find a 30 to 55-year-old man to be my boyfriend. It's just a good place to actually find daddies. Can I ask what you're buying today?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask what you're buying today?
Trench mesh.
Oh, what's this for actually?
Concrete. Put
Concrete?
in a trench before you build a brick wall.
Like for the drain?
No. When you build a brick wall,
Oh.
that goes in the concrete on the bottom, in the concrete, and the bricks on top.
That's so cool.
The hardware store is not a place to shop for men. The dudes who go there have projects that need to get done. They don't have the time to be recorded by women who are incapable of meeting men in the wild.
So what will you do today?
Build a brick wall.
Oh, just the whole day?
Well, the rest of it, yeah.
Well, if we're done building the brick wall, will you spend time with me?
I'm sorry.
No? Okay, bye-bye.
She has no idea how rude she's being. That guy has a long day of laying bricks for his home, and she's trying to hold him up with a pathetic attempt at flirting for her channel. And yet she's the victim because he wasn't interested in her.
I see a lot of women saying that men aren't pursuing them. They're not pursuing them anymore. They don't know what they have to do to get a man to pursue them. But listen, let me tell you something. Dating has changed so much post Me Too era. Men, especially younger generations of men, Gen Z, millennial generations, they are not going to pursue women the same way that they pursued women in the past because they don't want to come off as creepy, weird, whatever.
That's only part of the issue. Another part is that these women who complain about men spent the better part of a decade constantly insulting, demeaning, and mocking men for virtually no reason. Men aren't willing to date women like that.
Dating has changed. If you are a woman and you want a man, you are going to have to put some effort in. They're not going to chase you like they used to. Or it's not. Especially if you're dating in the Gen Z millennial range. Like, you're going to have to put some work in if you want a man. They're not going to be calling you, showing up to your house with flowers. That's just creepy now.
The dating world has completely changed because modern women changed it, and the mere idea of having to put in effort into dating a dude is so insulting that they would rather be single and miserable than lift a finger to make things actually work.
63% of men under 30 are single, and more than half of them aren't even trying to date. Why do you think that is? What do you think the root cause of that is?
And I feel like a lot of younger men that are single, that aren't even trying, they don't want to dedicate the time. They want to build their business. They want to make it to the gym. They want to travel. They want to do it. And you know what? Finding a real relationship is work. It's not that they can't get dates. It's that they can't get the right ones.
A lot of men don't want to date because there's no point for the average guy. If they're not being used for free dinners, they're expected to listen to a woman as she trauma dumps on him or disrespects him for not being the man that she wants.
I have a couple questions. Maybe y'all can help me out. Here in Florida, since I just moved here about 4 months ago, men are very different. They don't court you. Like, whatever happened to flowers and phone calls and good morning, babe, and good night, babe, and let's go get lunch or breakfast, or hey, do you want to go look at the sunset? I don't know.
Courtship is rarely a thing anymore. It hasn't really been here for a long time. These women expect men to be gentlemen, but they refuse to even make an attempt to at least appear to be ladylike, because that's somehow the guy's job as well.
But that's gone now. Men don't do that. It's like, you gotta be the man, and that's so unattractive when you gotta pull out your masculine energy because the dude is too soft. It's like, wake up, dudes. Be a man. Build something. I don't know. I'll cook. You build. I mean, on a date, take the lead. I don't understand. It's like situationships all day long. It just, it's so unattractive. I don't get it. Can somebody explain it? Or is it me? I don't know.
It's never a smart idea to emasculate a guy who isn't interested in dating a masculine woman. All that's going to do is turn off even more men to the idea of dating a woman who insists that he does all of the work.
I think it's so funny that most women think that this is just a stage that men are going through, but rather men are sick and tired of dating because of social media standards, and now they're realizing that they're way more at peace being single. The bar is set so unrealistically high, and nothing an average man can do anymore is good enough. I literally saw a video on Valentine's Day of this girl. She got a box of chocolate, she got roses, then he went and got her a whole nother set of candies, and she was asking people on TikTok, specifically girls, should I break up with him? I feel like he should have got me more.
That's the problem with a lot of modern dating. Even if a man pulls out all of the stops, he plans the date, he calls every day, does the flowers and all of that, she will just look at him and say that it's still not good enough because she deserves more. And then these same women wonder why men stop doing this behavior.
Girls aren't dating asking like, is this guy kind? Is he loyal? Is he trustworthy? Does he work hard? It's all about how much money he makes and his height. So no, it's not a stage. It's just that most men that are loyal and can be good long-term boyfriends, and most girls that are loyal and long-term good girlfriends, they're at home with their cats or their dogs, watching movies, waiting for this stage to pass.
It's funny how these women can't understand what's going on when they're the ones who spent the longest time changing the dating rules and acting like they were better than everybody else.
When you're 34, when you're 35, and you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I want. I'm like, dude, you're like old.
The amount of times that I've seen this come up on my For You page where girls cannot fathom the idea of why a man in his mid-30s might possibly be afraid of commitment even when he's in his mid-30s, it blows my mind because you think it's a pretty simple explanation. But it really goes to show the ignorance of how the average girl doesn't really understand the average male experience in his early 20s.
That's because a lot of these women just blindly assume that men have it significantly easier in life, and they back this up with movie quotes and stuff their high school teachers told them, so naturally they disregard men's experiences because they had it too good in life.
So I'm going to help you guys understand, so hopefully you guys can stop asking this question and shaming guys who want to be single in their mid-30s just because you're single in your 30s. So the average guy 18 through like 26 is going to be broke and pretty much not really have that much access to meeting women. Typically, once a man starts being a little bit more financially stable is when he's going to have the most access to women because he's able to go out on dates more, he's able to just go out more in general to meet more women. So normally a man becomes financially stable around their late 20s to mid 30s.
Even if a modern woman hears this, she's going to point out that what he's saying isn't true because of one or two dudes who became millionaires before their 22nd birthday. So therefore, all men are lying, apparently.
And a lot of men did not get to experience a lot of fun things in their early 20s like women do. A pretty girl who has no money is going to have offers to do a lot of cool stuff for pretty much no money when they're 18 through like 25. And then around 28 to 30 is when a girl is going to start looking for a serious commitment. But a man just started doing well and he's able to travel. He's able to go out on dates. He's able to go out to nightclubs and actually get attention for the first time in his life. And that's the average male experience.
Dudes who work incredibly hard to build themselves up and get to reap the benefits of their labor later on. It's short-term discomfort for long-term benefits. Modern women seem to operate in the completely opposite way. That's why they never will understand.
So when a man is 32, even though that might be the time for you that you're looking for a stable relationship, for him, this is all new and this is all exciting and he's finally getting the attention he feels like he deserves. But this is just a common tactic I see girls do where they try to shame guys for being single when they're in their mid-30s or even later. Like they're also not single and also in their mid-30s. Girls will just use this as a shaming technique to make it seem like a man in his 30s is somehow behind because his obligation is to be married and have kids around that time. But the reality is men don't have a biological clock the same way that a woman does on the expiration when they could have children or start a family.
It really just is because of the entitlement of a lot of modern women. They're supposed to go out, they're supposed to have their fun, and then they just expect men that they ignored the whole time, mind you, to hang around and wait for them, as if men have nothing better to do with their lives.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. He's like, yes, sure, whatever.
What these women won't understand is that a dude will date a woman so long as he finds her attractive, peaceful, and friendly. Their jobs, their degrees, and other things like this don't really matter to dudes at all.
With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. This idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out.
What's messed up is how men never actually told these women to surgically alter their bodies. That's something they do to themselves, and then they blame men for making them do it, quote unquote. It's an awfully convenient cop-out, if you ask me.
So I think just the pressure and the unattainable beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well. And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, that's crazy. We can't do all that. Some can. I mean, it's the small minority can do that, but for the majority of men, they're not going to be able to get to your high standards that you not only put on yourself, but you're putting on these men too. And I don't even know if women are aware that they're doing that.
Modern women's so-called standards are just completely impossible. They're so impossible that even if a man were to even meet them, she will still say that she's unhappy and that he's just not her person. Men can't win if they choose to play anyway.
Where are these men that I'm seeing all over TikTok? Because they are nowhere near me. All the ones that are around me are married or man-children who just want a mother to take the place of their mother, to take care of them. I just want to know where y'all at, because I've went to Home Depot. I'll go to Lowe's. There ain't nothing there. Not a single thing to get the creative juices going to where you're like,
When these women say that men just want a replacement mother, what they're really saying is that they aren't willing to do the, dare I say it, bare minimum to take care of the men in their lives. They're just telling on themselves when they say that. And by the way, also, a lot of these women, if you're going to go down that line of argument, they're actually looking for replacement fathers, to pay their bills, to protect them, and so on.
yeah, that's a man. They're not. They're nowhere around here. I live in the mountains, so I'm 2 hours from Atlanta. And there's just nothing here. And so I'm kind of at a loss, because it's just, where are you at?
In the description of her video, we see thirst traps are me. Thirst traps, red flags, not crazy enough.
If a woman needs to post a video asking where are all of the men, then you already know that she's completely hopeless. Good men are literally everywhere, but obviously they are just invisible to her.
Boys don't ask you out anymore. What they do is they look at you from across the room and they'll be like, huh, she's pretty. I bet that's my wife. And then they just take out their phone and watch basketball clips on YouTube Shorts. They're just like, oh, nice. And I think that's why the birth rate is dropping, honestly.
She's shaming men that she has no interest in talking to. That's why she's making fun of dudes who are watching basketball on their phones instead of buying her drinks.
So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. But most of the responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone and you just want your own space and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online.
She asked the question and didn't like the answer, so she decides to just try and accuse those men of not being confident enough to approach a woman, which is just yet another reason, by the way, why men don't bother anymore.
Men were also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience.
Every single answer that a man gives is somehow considered wrong. Even if a man runs the risk of losing quite literally everything by talking to the wrong woman, he should just do it anyway, apparently. It's just not worth it. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.